Chapter 1 of At the Time Appointed. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Rose A. At the Time Appointed by A. Maynard Barbour. Chapter 1. John Darrell. Upon a small station on one of the transcontinental lines winding among the mountains far above the level of the sea, the burning rays of the noonday sun fell so fiercely that the few buildings seemed ready to ignite from the intense heat. A season of unusual drought had added to the natural desolation of the scene. Mountains and foothills were blackened by smoldering fires among the timber, while a dense pall of smoke entirely hid the distant ranges from view. Patches of sagebrush and bunch grass, burned sere and brown, alternated with barren stretches of sand from which piles of rubble rose here and there, telling of worked-out and abandoned mines. Occasionally a current of air stole noiselessly down from the canyon above, but its breath scorched the withered vegetation like the blast from a furnace. Not a sound broke the stillness. Life itself seemed temporarily suspended, while the very air pulsated and vibrated with the heat, rising in thin, quivering columns. Suddenly the silence was broken by the rapid approach of the stage from a distant mining camp, rattling noisily down the street, followed by a slight stir within the apparently deserted station. Whirling at breakneck pace around a sharp turn, it stopped precipitately amid a blinding cloud of dust to deposit its passengers at the depot. One of these, a young man of about 25, arose with some difficulty from the cramped position which for 7 weary hours he had been forced to maintain, and, with sundry stretchings and shakings of his superb form, seemed at last to pull himself together. Having secured his belongings from out the pile of miscellaneous luggage thrown from the stage upon the platform, he advanced toward the slouching figure of a man just emerging from the baggage-room, his hands thrust deep in his trousers pockets, his mouth stretched in a prodigious yawn, the arrival of the stage having evidently awakened him from his siesta. "How's the westbound? On time?" queried the young man rather shortly, but despite the curtness of his accents there was a musical quality in the ringing tones. Before the cavernous jaws could close sufficiently for reply, 2 distant whistles sounded almost simultaneously. "That's her," drawled the man, with a backward jerk of his thumb over his shoulder in the direction of the sound. "She's a blind man's pass. Be here in about 15 minutes."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?